All right, I think we're live. Hey everyone, what's going on? Vito here, and thanks for joining in. This week is just me. It's the Vito show, and what's going on? Vito here. Oh, and I obviously technical issues, and I didn't mute my other chat. So Brad and Josh are off this week. We're doing a new segment called CS Plus, where it'll either be one of the three of us or any combination of us talking with another person with a bit of a theme, a bit more concrete theme, and we're going to try and get through this idea that we have this time. And if you guys really like it, let us know, and we'll try to do more of them. So tonight we have Chris from Bourbinsane joining us. We're going to be drinking a bunch of bourbon. He's brought a bunch of bourbon to my attention that we're going to try. Yeah, so I think with that, we're going to bring Chris in. And Chris, you there?
I'm here. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing tonight? Thanks so much for having me on, Vito.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to this all week.
Shit, yeah, same. Since we started talking about it, I've just been wanting to have some of this knob in my mouth. Knob Creek, that is.
Got to clarify that statement a little bit.
You have to clarify it. But the joke was there. I beat everyone else to the punch.
That's right.
So, what's going on, man? How's your day been?
It's been great. Got worked early today, so got the night off. Was able to do this. Looking forward to drinking some good stuff tonight.
Absolutely. So, do you want to let the people know what three whiskeys we've got lined up for each other?
Yeah, so obviously the big one's going to be the Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve. We figured we'd start with a little bit lower proof first. So bourbon number one. And yes, we are going to be doing all bourbons tonight, Vito. So we're not going to be doing any scotch, not tonight. But bourbon number one is going to be Eagle Rare, which it comes in at 90 proof. This is a Buffalo Trace product. And we figured we'd work our way up in proof. So Eagle Rare is going to start us off. Bourbon number two, we're going to go with the good old reliable Wild Turkey 101. I love this as a budget bourbon. I think it's a great option. Everyone should keep this stocked all the time. Moving up to the 101 proof, and great flavor profile with this. So this is going to be a good one too. And then finally, the bottle I have is a Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve store pick. And this is from a local shop near me. Vito, I think you just have the 9-year age-dated small batch. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So mine also is a 9-year. I talked to the owner about this, so I wanted to use this one today just so it was fairly similar. There's still going to be some difference because they're single-barrel products, but I figured this would be a good one. So,
yeah, so the Eagle Rare and the Wild Turkey 101 was actually the first bourbon I ever purchased when I started drinking whiskeys. And it was the bourbon that I used to get into bourbons by making old fashions. And yeah, and this is actually a good talking point because I know a lot of people that try to get into bourbons from Scotch. They have a bit of a tough time adjusting to the sweetness in a lot of bourbons.
Yeah.
But in my experience, tend to like cocktails. So if what I did was I got the 101 because of the higher proof, and I started making old fashions with them. Right. So on ice with a little bit of bitters and all the other flavors, just to kind of acclimate my palate to the typical bourbon sweetness that I didn't really appreciate at the time. And it slowly, sort of weaned off of that and to just start drinking it neat, and that kind of got me rolling into other bourbons.
Yeah, I mean, not only is Wild Turkey great cocktails because of the proof alone, but also it's a higher rye mash bill. So like with rye, you're going to get a lot more of those dry, not as sweet notes that turns a lot of like Scotch drinkers off from bourbon in general to begin with, at least. So it adds more of those notes, and like you said, the proof you can actually taste your whiskey in your cocktails. That's the way to do it. So.
Yeah, the Eagle Rare. One of my good friends, James Bricker, out in Vegas. I met him, and he was when I was going out to Vegas. he's like, oh, when you come out here, we're gonna like initiate you into bourbon. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh God. So a bunch of bourbons later, he finally brings out the Eagle Rare 10, and I fell in love with it right away. It was so creamy and vanilla. Excuse me. I'm still getting over a bit of a cough, guys. Sorry if it's a bit annoying. I do apologize. But yeah, I fell in love with it right away. The second I got home, I went out to the LCBO, picked up a bottle for myself.
Yeah, Eagle Rare is just, I mean, it's like $31 near me too. 10-year age statement. They were all single barrel. I mean, I know that's not on the label anymore. They're technically a small batch now, but according to Buffalo Trace, it's all pretty much still a single barrel product. When we were on the tour in at Buffalo Trace, they said they're all pretty much single barrel still. It just gave them more freedom in case they wanted to blend batches together. So it's really a really good budget option. I have my best budget bourbons finals coming up soon, and that's one of them that made it to my final round. I have 5 of them, and it's definitely a heavy favorite. Eagle Rare is just so solid.
And yeah, and then the Knob Creek. Yeah, so actually, you know what? Because I haven't opened this up yet, so I'm gonna open it up. Can you give me just a quick, like, what I should be expecting from this when we do get to it?
Tasting notes and nosing.
I guess like what would you best compare it to?
Well, I guess, have you ever had any of the Booker's batches before?
Yes, I've had Kathleen's.
Okay. Yep. Kathleen's batch was my favorite of 2018 of all the Bookers, and
yeah, it was really good. I think I gave it a must buy if you can find it.
Yeah, it had such a great fruitiness to it compared to some of the other batches. But that's going to probably be the closest you're going to get.
Okay,
to the Bookers. It's not quite the same as Bookers, but
right. But it's in terms of, I guess, the heat and
yep. And it's the same family. I mean, they're both Jim Beam too. So
okay, I guess we were going to touch on that too, just because I didn't know what distillery this was from. I kept myself in the dark as much as I could with Knob Creek.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I'd rather you do it that way, because I want to hear you call it a bunch of Scotch notes, and I'm gonna pour mine too.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pour this. Let it sit. That'll be the last whiskey that we try. This is a neck pour, so I'm sure a lot of people are a little bit afraid of neck pour sometimes, being not as true to flavor as a whiskey can be. But I want to open this up on live with everybody. And I guess before we continue on, I just want to say some hellos in the chat. First and foremost, to our moderators tonight, Gretchen is in the chat, and Jeremy is in the chat. What's up, guys? Christina is at school, I think, right now. So best of luck to Christina, if she's at school or not sleeping. I don't know. But yeah, so tonight, if we happen to miss, my pen just broke. If we happen to miss a question, just at Gretchen or Jeremy, and they'll get the question over to me. I've already had a hard time keeping up with the chat as it is. I apologize. In my old age, my brain's not working as quickly as it was when I was 29. So let them know. Brad and Josh. Well, Josh for sure. I don't think I saw Brad yet, but they both should be in the chat. Heckle them and let them know that they're not missed, and you'd rather just see me all the time. And then everyone else in the chat, just saw Robert Licorice from Iron Root. What's going on, man? Can't wait to get out and try some of your stuff. It looked amazing from what Josh shot for the on location stuff. Carl Ivy, Steve A, Jason Unsworth, Patrick Kahn, guys, just fantastic community. Everyone's just kind of bouncing around between the lives and taking part in the whole community aspect. There's so many people. DJ Beacon, Brad is here lurking. Yeah, a lot of people. Whiskey Crusaders, Cap and Make It Happen. Best that name I've seen so much. It's on par with Multi Haggis Muncher from Roy's streams as one of the top YouTube names in my opinion. So let's pour the Eagle Rare.
Yep. And Vito, Easy Mac wrote, Booker's and Knob Creek are same mash bill. Knob Creek's kind of older Booker than Booker's, but not quite cast strength. Booker's is the best of the best.
Yeah.
Just a little preface there, getting you into it.
Getting me primed, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure if there it is. James goes, "Don't hug walls tonight, Vito," because at the end of that night, me and him were up until like 3:34 in the morning, and we darn near finished off a whole bottle of Eagle Rare. And I was like using the wall. I was hugging the wall to get back to the bed.
Yeah, you'll get a different kind of drunk reaction in bourbon than you will with scotch. I'm sure you probably noticed that with the wall hugging.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, and I saw your review of this on your channel too, and it was really good. You actually did a really good job.
Thank you. I just talk a lot. We were talking about this before. It's like I just keep on talking until I get something right or bore people enough to just be like, yeah, he's right. Just
yeah. I think you've got it down though. It's working for you.
Hey, I got to be good at something, right?
That's right. All right, so I'll let you start out with the note. So what do you get first on this?
On the first nose, and I'm not too sure if I remember if I mentioned it in my video, but I'm getting a bit more like barrel spice. Up front, and then like almost like a rich French vanilla.
Okay, like a creaminess almost.
Yeah, and that's where the kind of creaminess comes in after, like underneath it, to kind of just like lift it up, and it's not super super thin.
Now I've probably had about 3 different Eagle Rare bottles since starting into bourbon, and in general, I think most of them drink a lot younger than 10 years. I mean, they're 10 years, and they definitely have the wood influence, but I don't think the nose is quite like that.
So, Eagle Rare is part of the Buffalo Trace line, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Couldn't remember if I remembered that correctly.
But the interesting thing about Eagle Rare is at Buffalo Trace, they actually age this on the bottom levels of the rickhouse. So it's not getting as much of a temperature change, going in and out of the wood. So you wouldn't expect it to pick up as much age as maybe some of the other bourbons that are aged on different levels of the rickhouses. So
right, okay, I could see that now. See, because sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that's why I get a big sweetness on this a lot of times.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say there's a bit more kind of like a berry sweetness.
Yeah.
Like not quite like a strawberry.
Yeah, and it's not like one of the bright fruits. I think it's more darker fruits, I guess, like a darker cherry,
blueberry maybe.
Yeah, I could see blueberry. But it's more like a dried blueberry, not like a fresh, juicy, blueberry to me. That's
I think I'm on the fresher, plumper fruit range.
And I'm on the very end of this bottle too. My bottle. Maybe. Like I've got maybe 2-3 pours left, so that can affect things a little bit too. But
yeah, I wonder what everyone in the chat if they like if they get like a berry sweetness, what kind of berry on the Eagle Rare 10. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. You too. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. Yeah, weird. It's a bit spicier than
yeah, I was actually going to say that.
Then I remember it.
It definitely seems like more of a spicy kick. Of course, this is my first drink too.
This is as with me. I haven't had any whiskey prior to coming on.
I'm not sure which mash bill this is with Buffalo Trace, Mash Bill 1 or Mash Bill 2. So Mash Bill 2 uses a higher rye. I'm pretty sure Eagle Rare's mash bill 1. Buffalo Trace doesn't ever really give any any description or breakdown of their mash bills, but someone in the chat will know. I see Jason in there. Jason knows, I'm sure, but
Jason knows everything.
I'm pretty sure this is mash bill 1.
So I wonder if you know, or if anyone in the chat knows, why Eagle Rare decided to move the 10-year marker to the back bottom of the label. I was always when I saw this for the first time, when James showed it to me, I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, it's aged 10 years, and I was like, where does this say that? Normally it's at the front of the bottle. Like, yeah, I know it's they moved it to the back now. I was wondering if you knew why that was.
I do not know why that is. It's kind of a nice thing to see it on the front of the bottle, honestly, because that's a selling point, I think, in my opinion. Yeah,
because you want it. Well, you ideal for a lot of people, you like to see that number, right? So
yeah. No, I don't know why they did it. I mean, I don't know if there was some major reason for it or not, but
because they're gonna drop it at some point. That was Joseph Brazil.
I
can. It makes sense, like right, to kind of phase it out slowly off of the bottle. But that would suck.
That's logical.
Yeah.
I mean, the way all of Buffalo Trace is going, I mean, several of their products are already on heavy allocation. I mean, the Weller line, E.H. Taylor lines, all allocated. Obviously, Stag Jr., all the antique collection. It's kind of all going that way. And even now, I've heard regular Buffalo Trace bourbon is getting hard to find in some places. I don't know availability near you up there, but
availability in Toronto for anything is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, I know you've said that before. So
I had you look through the website.
Yeah, that was hard to look at.
It's a pretty pathetic offering, and the prices are absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the sweetness on here is the spiciness is a lot more forward, but it's not terribly strong. It's just kind of just a bit more prominent than normal.
Yeah, I agree. And then going back in the second sip, I think it's a lot smoother on the palate too. Hey, Santa Cruzin, thanks for coming in. Sorry if we missed anyone, guys. Eric, good to see you.
Jason said because Eagle Rare isn't a true single barrel anymore.
Yep, that's true. The single barrel is now off completely. Off of the bottle.
So they moved from a 10-year single barrel label to just what we see today plus the 10 on the back.
Right. Still the 10-year age statement, which is still nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how true it is, but what Buffalo Trace told me about it still mostly being single barrel or not. I mean, they could have just been saying that too at the distillery, but
yeah, because you visited there not too long ago, right?
Yeah, probably about 8 months back now. Okay. Yeah. Last summer. Yeah, it was really nice though. It was a gorgeous place.
Did you pick up? I have a friend that went there. Did you pick up any Buffalo Trace candles?
No, I didn't. I'm sure my house already smells like a bourbon bomb anyway. I doubt my wife would want more bourbon in the house. So all my open bottles I have, it's probably just leaking right out. Yeah, this is just so easy to drink.
Dangerously easy to drink.
It is, yeah.
So I actually have a question. Are you? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pose a question to Robert Licorice in the chat right now. Robert, do you guys have distribution to Michigan yet? Robert Licorice is one of the guys down at Iron Republic in Denison, Texas. Yes, my memory works today. And they well, apparently, because I still haven't tried any of it, but Josh, Gretchen, all the people that I know out there in Austin and Dallas love their stuff. I'm wondering if they plan on getting some distribution over in Michigan, because that will also just keep some fire under my butt to get out there and maybe pay you a visit and grab a dram in real life.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And we actually have a lot of micro distilleries up here that are really good. I mean, Detroit area has some good stuff, and there's a couple in more towards northern Michigan that are really good too.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about that, I think.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do a couple like Michigan distillery tours. I haven't gone to I don't think any distilleries in Michigan here, but even that'd be cool. Just bring a camera and show you guys what I'm seeing. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Robert's checking right now. Oh, and I guess give Josh a good old Michigan hello there, because he's really he's really hating me right now, probably.
Yeah, Josh, we were talking about this before the stream started. Yeah, you're in Michigan too. Represent, man. Anytime you want to get on a live, let's do it. That'd be fun. Where in Michigan is Josh?
Well, Josh is in Austin, but he lived in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
I think where did he live? I don't remember where he said. I don't pay attention to Josh when he talks most of the time. Flint. He was in Flint.
Flint. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
There's no distilleries out in Flint, is there?
Not that I know of, but I know towards the Detroit area there are a couple. Detroit City Distilling.
Oh, and Gretchen's from Michigan too.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Gretchen's from Michigan too.
Oh, from Flint too. Okay, nice. Yeah. Represent Flint.
I don't know why I forgot that. I'm sorry, Gretchen.
We've got a lot of Michigan people here. We got ADHD Fishing's a Uper, he said, UP. And then Joseph Brazu's in Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti. Represent, guys.
All right, so Wisconsin for distribution for Iron Root. That's not terribly far, I don't think, from Michigan. I honestly don't know my American geography well enough.
Wisconsin's just across the pond. You'd have to take a ferry over there or drive around the Great Lakes.
Ah, okay.
Or
just go really fast and your car will just kind of skid on the top of it.
Yes, skid across the water. Yeah.
I mean, it's cold enough now. It's probably all ice.
That's true. That's the good thing about,
So good.
Mm-hmm.
How much is the bottle over there for you? Of the Eagle Rare?
How much of the bottle's left?
No. How much does it go for, the bottle?
Eagle Rare is $31 is what I got this one for.
Oh my god.
$31 US. Yeah. I know I always complain about prices in Michigan too, because we have state regulated pricing and state minimum pricing. You can't go below a certain price.
Right.
And other states get discounts on liquor all the time. And I'm like, oh, they just got a Elijah Craig Barrel Proof for $32 or whatever. It's like, but no, Michigan doesn't have that. So.
Also, sorry for the chat. I've seen a couple of people tag at Cast Strength with a question. Tag me. Let me pop my name out there. It's pop at my this handle, Vito Gagliardi. So it kind of pops up on me just because I'm not on the Cast Strength account right now. And if you have a question, it'll at least catch my eye. But yeah, the Eagle Rare up in Toronto is $56 or $58 Canadian. So like 45 American or so, probably a little bit more.
But what do you think of that? I mean, so this is a good test. So like, what do you think of that price for this bottle? You think that's a good deal, or would you not?
I would if I didn't know what it cost outside of Ontario.
Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the hard part.
Like as soon as you, and that's what ignorance is bliss. The Matrix was ahead of its time, man.
Yeah, that's when I first got into like bourbon big time. I was just like, I didn't even look at a price tag, and now it's like the stuff I bought when I first got into bourbon. It's like, what was I thinking? I should have never ever done that,
Yeah.
But
no,
live and you learn, I guess.
Yeah. So at nearly $60, it's like, yeah, like okay, I'll do it. I won't be 100% happy with it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would do it.
Yeah.
Probably
not.
All
right, what do you got?
What
you got? Like one sip left there?
Yeah. Yeah. Just about. Right. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna save just a touch of it, and then I'm gonna do a blend at the end.
Oh, nice.
Because everyone loves a good random blend.
That is true. I'll have to pour a little more, but that's all right. I'll make it work.
I had to really twist your arm for that one, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like old,
Yeah.
more whiskey.
All right.
So the Wild Turkey 101, Wild Turkey is its own thing, right?
Yes, Wild Turkey is its own distillery, and they
Right.
actually use the same mash bill
For
for all their products.
Yeah,
Whereas,
I heard. I
Buffalo
think
Trace is
who
different and
was
stuff.
Jason talking to last week? Rare Bird 101.
Yep.
I forget the gentleman's name. I think it was David.
David, yes, I
Yeah,
can't remember.
perfect.
Can't remember
My
his
memory tonight, man.
I'm terrible with names, but
Yeah, they were talking about it and said, "Oh, it's all the same mash bill," and I was like, "Whoa, really?" Like, because there's so much variation between all the expressions, and it's just where in the warehouse they're storing it. Is that correct? And how long they're doing it?
yeah, age, and then they actually, he talked about it a little bit too, I think last week. But they actually come in when they fill the barrels. They come in at a lower proof than normal, so they fill the barrels at 115 proof versus like the 125, legal.
Right. Oh, okay.
So that that supposedly that can really change the flavor. I think back in the day they were saying they actually used to fill them even lower than that, like 105 proof or something like that, 110.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting. But Wild Turkey, they're some of my favorite products.
Yeah, no, the Wild Turkey, the 101 will always hold a special place in my heart because it was, the first, excuse me, the first bourbon I bought.
Yeah, it's your
And
gateway drug.
This is my second bottle
Yep.
of it. So I've already, and I think it's only $38 in Canada. So it's well within like an acceptable price range.
Yeah. Yeah, it's $26 here.
Yeah, so about there.
Yeah, yeah, it's good though.
So I told you, I mentioned earlier how I got into bourbons. I'm assuming that bourbon was the first whiskey that, excuse me, that you started drinking. I would assume.
Yes, yeah. First whiskey for sure. I've talked about it a couple times, but I really started out with bourbon barrel aged beers.
Okay.
So being in Grand Rapids, that's like Beer City, USA. Here we have a whole bunch of really good distilleries around here. And bourbon barrel aged beers really got my attention, and I loved them. And then one day I went into a liquor store and I was like, I really like bourbon barrel aged beers. Maybe like point me towards a good bourbon. And he had an Elijah Craig store pick there, and it was so good. It was probably the best Elijah Craig store pick I've had. It was just I was immediately hooked. And then from then on, I just started watching whiskey reviews nonstop, and the rest is history. Yep, Dragon's Milk, Brian Walsh. Yep, we got that. We've got Founders. A lot of good places.
So my friend out in in the GTA, Mike McDonald in the chat said the 101's 42. And it must have gone up because I don't remember paying 42 for it.
Is that a liter or is that for a 750? Because they do make, yeah,
750 for sure. Joshua Asplund. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. What's the price of some bottom shelf bourbon in Canada? For a full 750, you're looking at minimum $30.
Wow.
And like I think the basic Four Roses is like $32 or $33. But yeah, you can get obviously less than $30, but you're not getting the 750.
Yeah.
Oh God, Wild Turkey 101's $19 in Colorado.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why, like, even Michigan, I always complain about prices because I hear the rest of the country saying they get it for dirt cheap. So you can tell immediately, though, on this nose, it's completely polar opposite than Eagle Rare.
Oh yeah, this is a lot of barrel.
Yep. And it's a different kind of barrel too. So I always describe the Wild Turkey as a sour note.
Yep. Sour and bitter.
Yeah, sour and then like bitter barrel tannins, I guess, is what it would be. And another interesting thing about Wild Turkey, I always get a red color, like a kind of a reddish tint on there.
Like more of like an amber?
Yeah. Compared to like the Eagle Rare, at least, it's just.
Oh,
I always get more
definitely.
red.
I wonder what like I guess the toasting levels also play a big factor in the coloring.
Yes, and I know Wild Turkey uses like the highest level of toasting. I think it is like alligator char they call it.
What a cool name.
Yeah, yeah. They just burn the piss out of it apparently.
Oh, was it again alligator?
Alligator char or level. I forget. There's so many. I've heard different levels of char. Like I always thought level 4 was the highest char when I was at Old Forester. They said that's the highest level you could go, but I've heard other people say like level 8 or 9, which I don't even know what that would be, but it just they just toast it for longer, you know.
Yeah, and you get like a sort of like a maraschino cherry.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could be convinced of anything when I'm talking to someone else and drinking. So
There was one thing. It's funny you should say that. There was one thing about that was mentioned. I forget who mentioned it a couple of weeks ago about the power of suggestion, and that it really only works if it's there. Like if I told you look for watermelon in this whiskey,
yeah,
definitely not. But if you can almost be convinced, like it's like okay, yeah, it's there.
No, you're absolutely right. That's why I like doing blind tastings, even on like if I do it just myself. It makes such a difference. Even if I know what I'm trying, I can be like, oh, I think this is that, or this tastes like what I remember.
Jer Majesty is asking, what are the rare Wild Turkey expressions? You'd know more about that, I think.
There's some really high end ones. Their whole Masters collection, which has several different expressions and a couple new. Supposedly, there's going to be a new one coming out that's going to be a rye as part of that, but or Masters Keep, I think they call them. But I am for the money, I think the Russell's Reserve single barrels are really the way to go. A lot of stores do store picks on those, and I just reviewed one that I haven't put out yet for my channel, but the potential on Russell's Reserve store picks are just ridiculous. There's a couple I've tried that are just so good. I would have never guessed that it was a Russell's until I knew. So, but they make Kentucky Spirits, Wild Turkey Rare Breed is really good too. That's their pretty much the older version of the 101. It's 115 proof.
Yeah, I think I have a buddy of mine that swears by the Rare Breed.
It's good. Most of their batches are good. For that,
I think he gave me a sample of it to review, so I'll probably get around to that at some point.
Yeah, you'll like that. If you like the 101, you're gonna like that. I saw Eric Waite said if you like the saltiness of like an Islay Scotch, you'll like the Jefferson's Ocean Cask Strength. And yes,
that voyage. Which voyage is that?
The one I have is Voyage 14. That's the cask strength. I think, reviewed Jefferson's Ocean. Their 16, which is their normal, I think, 90 proof one.
Yeah. It was I couldn't remember which one it was. I was like, I didn't review a cask strength one. I don't think.
No, the cask strength just kind of amplifies all the flavors, though. It's really good, and I know Eric's going to be putting that out on his channel soon for Bourbon Month. I'm looking forward to that one.
And Eric's also going to be posting a Knob Creek review.
Yes, yeah, I saw that today that he's going to be doing that. So,
and he apparently he gets a lot of snozberry on Knob Creek. Man, I don't know what kind of green you're all up in, but I'm sure there's a couple of troopers that would love to get their hands on.
Yeah.
I don't know. What the heck is this? Oh, I don't know. Something fell into. Okay, so when I opened up this Knob Creek,
yes, the wax
just brittled everywhere.
It's your first time opening one, right?
Yeah, I was like, "What the heck is this?" It's everywhere. Like I'm gonna have to get the vacuum out later.
Yeah, it's like your first time with a woman. You just got to be nice and gentle. Take it nice and easy.
And just like the first time, nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Find out the hard way.
That wax right
out. Yeah, and someone mentioned circus peanuts on the nose on the Wild Turkey 101. And I was like, yeah, the saltiness is there. And now that I'm smelling it, and not so much the peanut, but the shell.
Well, now circus peanuts are like
a salty, dry
orange,
shell.
fluffy or marshmallow ones, right? Is that what you're talking about? Circus peanuts?
I'm not too sure if he means that one, or I'm just assuming
peanuts from a
like a salted bag of peanuts.
I gotcha.
I think that's what he means, because when I smell this, and I think I'm probably the only weirdo in here out of how many people are watching right now, out of 39 people, so that I eat my peanuts without taking them out of the shell. I do that. You do that?
I do that, yeah. I do it for like 4 or 5, and then I do a couple, out of the shell, and then I'll go back to it.
Oh no, I just keep on popping them in, like the drier the better. I don't know what. There's just so much there's so much more flavor in the peanut, in my opinion.
Bad for your teeth, but yeah, it's good. A lot salty, pretty salty too.
Teeth can be replaced.
ADHD Fishing said circus peanuts are the banana flavored chewy deliciousness. Yeah, banana.
I get banana. I do get a bit of a banana.
Yeah, this definitely is so I guess the sour fruit note I describe is like almost like a sour apple, or like you said, a banana with just that sourness with wild turkey.
But like an unripened banana.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everyone's freaking out about the shells. DJ Beacon, that's true fiber. Yes, sir, it is. Oh yeah.
I think this is roughly about 6 years aged, the Wild Turkey 101, which is really good for that price. I mean, for a budget bourbon like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, is the minimum year 6 years, or
the yes, that's what that would mean. So if there was an age statement, which there's not, that would mean the youngest whiskey in that bottle is 6 years old.
6 years, yeah, but without one, it's I'm sure there's somewhere like between 4 and 6 years, maybe.
Yeah, and most things around that price point are 4. I mean, on average, 2 to 4. So,
so we've had a couple of people join in. Most Chun, what's going on, buddy? You're everywhere, man. Like it's a marvel to witness just how you're just everywhere. And thank you for supporting the channel as strongly as you do. The channel, the community, I should say, the whole community, because you're everywhere for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great community. Scott from My Bourbon Journey.
Yep, he's there too. Yeah, cool. Oh, a lot of awesome people in tonight. What's everyone drinking? I know a couple of people have followed somewhat along or pulled out the Wild Turkey or Eagle Rare. What's everyone drinking? How much what time is it? What are we on? Oh yeah, we're doing good.
Yep.
I want to try and keep this to an hour. I know sometimes our channel runs like an hour and a half sometimes.
Yeah. But it's easy to do. It's easy to do when you're talking and drinking.
Yeah, I just and especially me, because I'm not only do I talk so much, I'm the king of transitions. So I don't know if you've watched like a whole stream, if you've been around for a whole stream, but like Brad and Josh would be talking about something, and I'll just like intervene, just be like, "Hey guys, by the way," like they're just in the middle of a conversation. I'll just be like, "Sorry to interrupt, but." DH Sill is having some Redbreast 12 cast strength. My man, what a great pour of whiskey that is.
Yeah, an awesome review you put out today, by the way, for that, Vito. Good work.
Thank you very much.
If you guys haven't seen that, go watch that. He single-handedly convinced me to go get that bottle, so it's going to be on my shelf very soon.
Don't listen to Josh. I listen. Just not all the time. All right, a little bit more of this, and then
yep, save some for the blend this time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 101 is just so solid. Always keep that stock, guys.
All right, let's clear the palate a little bit.
Yep,
where are my peanuts at?
I think you're going to see a big difference in this one.
All right.
Now, we've had these poured for about 50, what? I mean,
40 minutes or so,
Still,
maybe a
so
little bit less than 40 minutes, probably about 30 minutes. Someone asked me a question. Robert Licorice, where are you, bud? Vito, are you coming south in April? No, no, Rob. I won't be able to make it out in April, but I am going down to Austin in October for the Crowded Barrel festival, I guess is what they're calling it. I don't even know what they're calling it anymore, but they're hosting like another sort of iteration of what they did last August, but this time in October. I will be there for that, so I'm gonna try and put some time aside to come up to Denison to visit the distillery.
Nice.
And for Eric Waite asking, how much experience do you have with bourbons versus Scotch? All right, so I started drinking, really drinking and enjoying whiskey last January or so, like late last January. And I think I bought my Wild Turkey in May or June of last year. So I have a couple of months a head start on Scotch, specifically peaty Scotches. So I definitely my taste definitely leans that way. But I have a fair, I'd say maybe a quarter of what I have is bourbon.
Yep.
I definitely have more bourbon than I have Canadian whiskey, so that's something, right? So okay, so it's not as spicy as the Wild Turkey. Definitely not crazy there.
Which is crazy because it's kicked up 20 points proof.
Yeah,
so.
it's a lot. It's a lot softer and round on the nose.
Yep. A lot more rich caramel vanilla comes through immediately for me on this.
Yeah, which reminds me of the Eagle Rare.
Yep.
But there's more cherries in here. I don't want to be influenced by these two right now because like I just want to just pick and choose and compare and
I always get a nuttiness typically with Knob Creek too. So like you described like
a waxy nut, like walnutty.
Yeah, walnut would be a good way to describe it. Because it is more like a dry roasted peanut to me, but this is a little more rich. You know, it's a lot richer. John, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here.
Did I miss someone?
No, John's taking off for the night. So.
Oh, geez, take it easy, John. John? Who's John, by the way? Why am I
John Gutzel? Oh, sorry if I ruined that name. Sorry.
Gunsel. Yeah. Good night, sir. Hashtag waxy nut. God damn it, Josh.
Yeah, I know. Easy Mac said nutty knob. Yeah, you know.
That's why I opened up with the joke. I beat everyone to it, and now it's just like all right. There's something else that's there, and if anyone like actually like is able to see, well, again, my editing is awful, but you can see how many cuts I put into my reviews. My raw cut reviews are like 20 minutes long because I'm sitting there smelling and kind of and really trying to delve. Like I can write notes beforehand, but I find it much more easier for myself to explore the whiskey on camera because it's kind of forces me to stop and sit and contemplate a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's why I have so many cuts in my videos because like I'll say something and I'll sit there and it's like, is this really what I'm smelling right now?
That's good though.
If anyone wants like a raw cut edition like that, you'll sit and watch like 20-25 minutes of me just like in silence contemplating, I'll put one out there. But
heck yeah, I'd want that. Or just do it live. Just don't even talk to anyone in chat. Just do the review like you're doing it normally.
Oh God, that's actually
Can
that's
you
not
imagine how weird that would be?
that would be really weird. It's like everyone's talking and trying to get my attention. I'm just like ignoring the chat completely.
Yeah, just ignore. Richie Z, welcome in.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
Thanks for making it. Richie's another one who's in every single chat all the time. So thank you, Richie.
Wait, how does Brad get it with only 5 minutes? Because Brad is a Psalm. Brad can do everything that I do in a quarter of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Veto the director's cut. Vito's, Vito's meditation. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for. I should do that for the Glengoyne 21 that I got. Yeah. Which is probably one of my favorite so far this year. For sure, 2019. My favorite whiskey of 2019, but probably one of my favorite whiskeys ever.
Wow.
Like it's just so damn good. And Roy talks about Glengoyne all the time as well.
All right, now that this has been just sitting here under my nose for a while, I'm getting a lot more sweetness than I did originally.
Are you getting like an orange zest?
Yeah, it's definitely like a little bit of fruitiness in this, actually. And I don't really get much oak, honestly.
Not orange zest. The orange rind.
Right, that's what I thought you. Orange peel type.
Yeah.
So, do you get a lot of oak influence? I mean, that's 9 years still. You know, that's
not really. It's so clean.
It is, yeah. It's just well rounded.
Like I feel like okay, I'm gonna try this. So cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for being on. Oh wow.
Woo! You can feel that proof. You can definitely feel the proof more than the first two.
100%.
Yeah.
It's got me salivating.
Yep. It's coating. It coats really well.
And there's the 9 years in the oak. It's just it's dominated everything.
Yep.
It's thick. It's got a thick, creamy mouthfeel. Hashtag mouthfeel. I wish I was good at editing like you and Jason do good with like the edits around the screen and everything. I just want to I want it to be automated that every time we say mouthfeel, it just pops across the screen.
You can do that, but you'd have to hit a button.
Too many steps.
It's a little bit, you know. Jason Unsworth asks, what is your favorite top shelf luxury bourbon? Honestly, I don't have too many super high end things. But my favorite go-to bourbon is the Old Forester 1920. I love that stuff. That stuff is so good. I wouldn't call it really a luxury bourbon, but it's just such a good everyday bourbon.
Do you get a nutty banana French toast on the taste? Like a super eggy French toast.
Eggy.
Like it's like it's just the toast has been like lathered in
like way too much egg in there.
Way too much. It's been and it's got like banana and like a walnut or some sort of nut.
I could definitely be convinced of like a banana French toast that was just covered in caramel sauce with a nut sprinkled on top. You know, like a walnut sprinkled on top or an almond sprinkled on top.
Okay.
I don't know about the egg, like the egginess. I guess I haven't identified that note yet. In my personal notes that I have in my head, you know.
Okay, so if I can sort of try to explain it.
Yeah. Richie Z said lathered and slathered in butter, like buttery, like a buttery French toast.
Yeah. So like how I sort of equate the egginess, I'm not sure if it's like so much the actual taste of a cooked egg, like cooked, but that sort of creaminess that you get when you're beating the eggs with a little bit of cream and everything, then you dunk it.
So like a hollandaise sauce, is that what you're talking about?
Close. Not as crazy sort of because hollandaise is a fairly strong flavor on its own, right?
Right.
But in that direction, like just a bit creamier of a.
Well, it's definitely got the creaminess. I'll give
Yeah.
you that for sure. I mean, that's definitely there.
GoFundMe for Vito. What are we GoFunding for me now? Vito likes to be kept in the loop when money's involved. Flaming Heart? Yeah, 100%. Get some Flaming Heart over here. I don't know, Brad. I think Brad has some Flaming Heart that I'm just gonna steal next time I'm in Ottawa.
ADHD Fishing asked, "Is the
Baked
1920
custard?
egg custard?" You said.
Well, Brian Walsh has said
Baked
baked custard, and that's
Yeah.
probably as close as oh, fun for more hair. Oh, guys, come on. Okay, you know what? Here's the thing.
The beard looks great, Vito. You got
Thank
plenty of hair there.
See, when I started thinning out up top, all the hair kind of migrated down. Right. But because it's sort of like an unofficial Irish month on our channel, I'll put this on. So there's a bit of hair.
Yep.
I mean, now I'm like Josh's long lost wee cousin. We're both gingers now. To watch me eat hot peppers, guys. I'm not eating hot peppers again on live camera. I don't know if you were following the channel at the time, but early January we did a live stream, me and Josh, where it was dry week for the whiskey try people.
Yep.
And instead of whiskeys for one of the Wednesday live streams we did hot sauces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
I saw last week's when he was trying those.
Yeah, Brad was Brad was away that week conveniently. Yeah. So
that was the makeup stream for that.
That was the makeup stream.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a one and done thing on live camera, because I wasn't gonna go to the hospital. I was like really much in pain.
Really?
Like, bad. Jeez. Yeah, like really bad.
Man.
Okay, this is getting too hot now.
Yeah.
This is why, like, you go so long without hair. The second you put something on your head, it's like, I need air. I need my head to breathe.
No hats for Vito.
Eric Waite knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He's just been begging for more bald whiskey tubers to show up. So
I'm here, buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
Robert Licorice said my name, and then just kind of left me hanging.
Yeah, I could definitely see a baked custard though, because this is rich, creamy, desserty.
This is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say a bit more time, because this is the neck pour. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. But as it stands right now, I'd almost get this over the Eagle Rare.
Yeah,
and it's at a higher price point. It's $64, I believe.
Yeah,
I think it was $64. Compared to about the 54, 56 of the Eagle Rare. Yeah, I think I'd at the moment I'd rather get this.
Yeah, I mean, this gets you a longer way too. You know, it's the higher proof. It's kicked up a lot from the Eagle Rare. I mean, Eagle Rare is just solid every day, but yeah, it's definitely good stuff. And I'd be interested to see you do like a side by side with the Bookers to see what you think. You know, compared to the two.
I think I have.
If you have any left.
If I don't
not right now, you don't need to do it right now, but maybe
definitely not right now, because if I don't have any, I'm pretty sure I could probably get my hands on an ounce or so. And yeah, it's $64 for the Knob Creek.
Yeah, it's about 45 to 50 here in Michigan. So,
oh, I see what they're talking about in the chat. These guys are trying to GoFundMe to wax me now.
Waxing that beard off. Oof, I don't know. Wax the arms.
Oh God, I'm Italian, man. I have so much hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because you're a bourbon guy.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that single barrel and small batch were two separate things that couldn't be together.
Yeah.
I may be incorrect in my assumption, but I thought I remember seeing that somewhere.
Well, kind of. So technically the smallest batch you could ever get is a single barrel. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So technically you could call it a small batch, but I mean, honestly, this was actually posted a question on, I think, the Whiskey Tribe on Facebook, but I think 2 barrels would be considered a small batch myself. If it's just a single barrel, it's a single barrel. Like that's how I would identify it. But
Okay.
technically, a single barrel, you could call it a small batch if you wanted to. It is a small batch of whiskey. That's the way I interpret it as. There's no law or anything stating, as far as I know,
Yeah.
about difference. So
Yeah, but I was a bit confused about that because I was like, because I picked it up and I was like, okay, I got it. I got home. I put it on the shelf and I was looking at the label and I was like, wait a minute, did I get the right one? It's like,
yeah, I know. Is there a difference, right? Well,
Yeah,
and that's the thing too, is they just didn't take that small batch off the label on that single
right.
barrel. So
Jason Unsworth is taking off. Good night, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Brian Walsh, thank you very much. I just got this glassware recently, and I'm loving the new logo and loving the glassware. It's awesome.
Yeah, you just updated the logo and everything. It's a nice change. It kind of fits a little bit better.
It does, yeah. It's almost like a one of those, I don't know what you call them, but those insanity wheels that spin. You know, like that's the picture on there. I really like that. So
yeah, when I first saw it, and I think it's just because like I'm gonna be in Japan in like 4 weeks.
Oh, I hope you're bringing an extra suitcase.
I'm going with 3 other people that don't drink alcohol.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
I'm hoping they don't want to bring back alcoholic gifts for any of their family members, and I can use them to mule a whole bunch of stuff over.
Oh yeah.
But when I looked at your logo, it kind of reminds me of like House of the Rising Sun sort of thing. Like it's just kind of like that Eastern sort of vibe with the whole. And I kind of like I look into things a little bit too far, and I was like, how can I connect this idea with what you're doing? And it's sort of like a new dawn. You're shining light on the world of bourbon, and I know that's probably not where you were going, but like I just made up that story in my head. And this is how Vito's mind goes through like progressions. It's like I see something, it's like I will come up with my own backstory for something, and then find out what the backstory really is, and I'll just be like, okay.
Yeah. No, I actually did it. I mean, the way it came over was black and white logo, but that black and white was like those weird like virtual, I don't know what you call them, those virtual reality like things you see spinning that like confuse you when you're going in a daze. Like that was what it was supposed to be. But I experimented with it, like you said, like making it yellow, you know, the sun type thing, and I was like, it's a little too much, but either way, it's awesome. I really like it.
Yeah. There was someone, DJ Beacon. I will be going to. I'm starting in Tokyo, going to Kyoto. I want to get out to the Yamazaki distillery, which is like a 40-minute train ride outside of Kyoto.
That'd be cool.
All their tours are booked, so I may just disappear for a couple hours and just go visit the tasting room and whatnot. But do that. Then Osaka, Hiroshima, Nara, and Nara's pretty cool. If anyone's really interested in just like looking it up, in Nara, Nara, wild deer, they just like walk right up to you and like nudge you, and you can pet them and stuff like that. Like it's really crazy. And then we're going over to Hakone for a little bit, and then finishing off in Tokyo again, and then flying back.
How long are you going to be there?
17 days.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, gonna be
really fun though.
Yeah, it's me and my buddy have been trying to plan this for like almost 15 years.
Oh geez.
Yeah, so we're excited to finally like actually do it.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And just now that you're a whiskey guy, like the whole whiskey side of things is going to change the whole trip for you. I feel like it would for me at least. Like
yeah, for sure. Like I've already planned like a day away from like my buddies to just like go do whiskey. Like I asked them like so we're gonna be in Kyoto for like 4 days. Do you guys mind if I like disappear for like a day? They're like it's for whiskey, right? And I was like, maybe. Like they call it a sickness, but it's just like, no man, it's just
it's a hobby. It's a hobby.
I'm into it. Like it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
They mean well. I love my buddies.
Yeah.
And they'll appreciate the couple hours away from me too.
Yeah, right. Jason said we both have great logos. Thank you, Jason. I didn't know you were such a graphics design wizard. Otherwise, I would have reached out to you immediately for the logo. So you do awesome work.
We're I didn't know he did that either, but we're actually in the process of updating like our stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think we like Brad paid like a dude like $2 to make our current logo.
That's what my original one was, the same thing.
We didn't think that like we're just gonna start this and no one's gonna watch and whatever. And it's like
that's exactly what mine was. Yep.
And it's like oh shit, like we should sort of get a real logo going because like this is a thing now. So
right, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, this Knob Creek man is way good.
And do you guys ever get store picks like around you at all? Do they do that?
There's LCBO picks. They're not it doesn't say like a LCBO pick, but like I forget how it's worded. But they're 9 times out of 10 awful.
Really?
Like the people that pick out barrels for the LCBO, I'm pretty sure think like Coke is the be all end all of drinks.
That's rough.
Like one of the ones was like automaton 2003 bottling single cask that that the rep went over, tried it out of like 250 barrels, picked this one out. It is rancid.
I swear.
Like we were like there was about 10 or so of us at a tasting, and we opened up the bottle and it was like, oh God, what is this? it was like old stale like red wine vinegar, and we're just like oh come on, and it wasn't like it was cheap either.
No, but they had to get rid of that barrel, I guess.
Like it's just like people picking for the LCBO, and apparently nobody even likes like dealing with the reps from the LCBO, so it's like whatever. But yeah. No, the store picks up here are not anything to go on about, but you find the one thing that's like, oh, this is actually pretty good, but it's like you have to take the risk because you can't find them in most like whiskey bars that are in Toronto because the LCBO likes to hoard stuff. So it's always a gamble with the picks up here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you can find like a Knob Creek single barrel pick, it's amazing the difference you'll find between that and a bottle you have. It's just ridiculous.
I'm sure
they're all different.
I'm sure I'll be paying visits to people just over the border to be able to grab a couple of picks soon. So
definitely.
Okay. So I don't know how much you have of the Knob Creek.
Too much, but I got a little bit. I can pour a little more too.
Oh no, that's enough. I have just a little bit more than you, so.
All right.
Yeah, that's about right. Do you want? Are you ready for the blend?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so blend of Eagle Rare 10. Well, I don't even know why I'm saying. Well, the Eagle Rare 17 is a thing, so.
Yep. So and the Very Eagle Double Rare is now a thing too, which is a 20-year-old Eagle Rare. So.
Yeah, if people really want to pay that much.
Yeah.
So Eagle Rare 10, Wild Turkey 101, and Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve.
All right.
A big old blend.
Big old blend.
About I don't know. For me, it was about a quarter ounce or so of each.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
And I guess we'll call it a stream. I think after this, we're just over the hour mark. Just about on time. We're professional over here. We like to keep things. And that's one thing that speaking of about. By the way, I don't know about you, but the nose is actually pretty magnificent.
It actually is. It's actually really nice. I think that Knob Creek really added a richness to the other two, or at least to the Wild Turkey, like a much more deep, rich caramel vanilla.
Yeah, it's overpowering. The like the barrel spice went down, right? There's a lot more cream edges, and but yeah, the professional thing. I always say it, and we always laugh like amongst ourselves and like other people that are connected with the channel. And that started out because when we first started, we would have all kinds of tech issues, and our excuse to each other was that don't worry, we're professionals, we got this.
Yeah.
And now it's like a couple of people still like kind of reference it in the chats and stuff like that, but it's still funny to just say like whenever something kind of goes wrong or like not to where it's like we're professionals, don't worry.
Yeah. My first stream was perfect. I had 0 audio issues, 0 technical issues, and then like every stream since has been something goes wrong. Just the way of YouTube, I swear.
Yeah. Loch Ness just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, sir, for the sub. I'm from Toronto, but the other two guys on the part of the channel, Brad and Josh. Brad's from Ottawa and Josh is from Austin. So it's the three of us on the channel, and we try to have like a kind of a interesting dynamic between 3 different people in 3 different cities in 2 different countries, with very different accessibilities to different whiskeys. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're entertained. And every time I feel like I'm Maximus from Gladiator. Are you not
entertained? Yes. Richie Z asked, what was that whiskey you were tasting on your Instagram, Chris? That was actually Wild Turkey 101. So I did not know that we were going to be drinking Wild Turkey 101 tonight. Otherwise, I probably poured something different, but
all right,
that's what it was.
Thank you, Richie Z, for the sub. Really appreciate it. Cheers, guys. Let's try this. Let's try this blend out.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. I think maybe I had more of the Wild Turkey in my glass left, but I get more of those notes coming through myself. I could have had more of that. But...
It's got less heat, obviously, because the other 2 are lower, but the spice hasn't really diminished.
No,
at least for me, the spice is still strong, like peppery spice, right?
Mm-hmm. That's that Wild Turkey. It's that high rye.
Yeah, and then a little bit of oak, woody oak.
Mm-hmm.
But then just a ton of vanilla.
Yeah, it is very sweet.
Robert Licorice, thanks for joining us, buddy. Really appreciate it. One day we'll have a dram of Iron Root together.
Which is crazy because 2 of these 3 bourbons are almost 10 years old, if you think about it.
Yeah, so you think you'd have more barrel.
Yeah, you think it should be all oak, really, you know? Yeah. But it's not. It's got a really nice sweetness.
Hey, listen, a quarter. If you want to take the time to pour out a 1/4 ounce of each of these 3 whiskeys, you won't be disappointed, really. I think.
Yeah.
I think it takes everything that's like like in the middle of the spectrum on all 3 of the whiskeys, and just brings them up a level. So it's its own thing, and it's worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, Jason at the Mash and Drum did his Blendageddon, episodes. I don't know if you saw that. He had people send him blends that they came up with.
Oh, geez.
And it was really cool to watch him do that. I mean, just the flavors you can pick out from blending 2 things together. A lot of them were multiple things, lots of things together. That was really cool.
Yeah, I gotta experiment more with blends. Like my one of my favorite blends, and really the only blend that I can say was like me, because I've never heard of anybody else doing it, was about 3/4 ounce of Lefroy quarter cask, and an ounce of Talisker 10 together. Unbelievable. But we'll talk about Scotch when I come onto your channel. Also, yeah, I guess now's a great time to mention it to everybody. So we did bourbon tonight. Chris came onto Cast Strength, and we did the whole bourbon thing. We're gonna iron out a day and time still, because we're professionals and we should have done this before.
Yeah.
To let you guys know like when to expect it. But just if you're following his channel or my channel, both the channels, or our Instagram, Twitters, or Facebooks, all the links are in the description below. For everyone watching now and everyone watching on the replay. Follow us there, and you'll know when I will be on Chris's channel, and we're gonna do a Scotch night. And just like Chris, you know, brought me through bourbon, and he got me to get this Knob Creek. We're gonna do the same thing, but with Scotch on his channel. So it should be a good night there as well.
Absolutely, and believe me, guys, I know virtually nothing about Scotch. I just recently put out an Ardbeg 10 review, and it was completely different than bourbon tasting, I'll tell you. So
yeah,
it's really good though. I loved it. I actually really love that peat. But it's a lot hard for me. It's a lot harder picking out notes from.
Well, especially you know, the peaty whiskeys, right? Because you really have to kind of acclimate to the taste of peat and get underneath it. But you did a great job. You did a great job. Like, I was watching it, and even messaged you like, good job getting like the mango tropical fruits underneath everything. Like, you did it. You held your own, man. You did a good job on that one.
Yeah, most of the time like if it's a new bottle I'm opening, I'll do it right like live, you know, when I'm recording it. So I don't get time to sit with the whiskey. But with Ardbeg, I was like, I really better delve into this and pick out some stuff below the peat, you know, because the first couple pours were just all smoke to me. So
yeah. Also, Jason, yes, my apologies, man. I completely escaped my mind. We do have a stream next week. Jason from the Messenger. I don't know. It was gonna be. I'm gonna be on his. We're gonna figure it out next week, either on Jason Mash and Drums channel at 9 p.m. Eastern time, or my channel. Well, my channel. Yep, my channel.
It's Vito's channel now, everyone. It's Vito's channel.
It is the Vito show now. Actually, you know what? Honestly, I think next week it may just be me.
Yeah, there you go.
It may, because I think there's a bit of a scheduling thing. But Jason, we're going to talk about it. But on his channel or my channel, again, on my channel, guys, I'm sorry, Brad and Josh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's the Knob Creek.
The Knob Creek stalking. The Knob stalking. On our channel, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be hanging out. It should be a good time. Jason, I do apologize. What a diva! Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, this Friday I am going to be on Eric Waite's channel. So we've already mentioned Eric a couple times. We are going to be drinking High West American Prairie, so a MGP product. But that'll be a good one. Eric's doing Bourbon Month, like I mentioned, so it's going to be a fun night that night. 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's gonna be a good time, because that's actually one of the bottles of High West that I've wanted to try along with the double rye, because I have the Campfire, which I really enjoy. And I've heard a lot of good things about other High West products. So I'm really interested in seeing what you guys say about that one.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I haven't broken this open yet, but Eric said you better open the bottle tonight or tomorrow to let it open up a little bit first. So that kind of intrigued me. So we'll see.
Yeah. And just for everyone's for confirmation, because Jason just reminded me, yes, we are doing back-to-back. So I will be on his channel and he will be on our channel. Our channel.
Back-to-back. Nice. So 2 hours. I like it.
2 hours of me and him talking. So it's gonna be a good night. So
you guys have topics at all about what you're doing, or one Scotch or bourbon, same type thing, or
you know what? We're gonna follow us on follow Cast Strength at the Cast Strength on Facebook and Twitter, and follow obviously Jason at the Mash and Drum, and we will let everybody know over the next couple of days what to expect next week. So.
Awesome answer, Vito. Awesome answer.
Awesome. Is there any besides the live stream with Eric? What's coming up with you on Bourbinsane?
I've got videos coming out every single week. So Tuesdays and Saturdays I put out my videos, and then every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern usually is when I do my live streams. So that's going to be every week. Mostly it's going to be bourbons. I am branching more into Scotch, as I mentioned, world whiskeys, but I actually did pick up my first Irish whiskey today too.
Oh, nice. Is that a Tullamore?
It's Tullamore, yeah, Tullamore Dew. I've had the only Irish I think I've had is Jameson, but it was mixed. I don't think I've ever had it straight. That was before I was into whiskey. So yeah,
the Jameson's always that whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. Irish really intrigues me. So
which Tullamore is that?
It's just the regular.
The regular, yeah. No, Tullamore's good. It's an easy drinker. You'll like it.
Yeah, that's what everyone said. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to be getting the red breast cast strength soon too, because I always like the high proof. So,
You know what? If it works out, if when I get back from Japan and you still don't have a bottle, we'll figure something out.
oh well, all right, that sounds great.
All right. So yeah, so with that, I think we'll call it a night. We are at yeah, typical cast strength video length, 76 minutes. So yeah, so much for sticking to the 1 hour mark. But hey, we had a good time.
Yeah, that was a great time. Thank you so much for having me on. It was awesome.
Thank you for coming on, and we're gonna figure out when best our schedules meet for Scotch night on Bourbinsane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll definitely be putting that out, information about that, guys. But
Yeah.
I've been asking a lot of questions about which Scotch would be a good bourbon drinker Scotch. I've been putting that out a lot of times on Instagram, Facebook. So that's why. It's all because of Vito. I wanna get the right Scotch for the occasion. He's made a couple recommendations too, so I've got a couple ideas already.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so Chris, thank you very much. It's been an awesome time hanging out with you, and hanging out with everyone in the chat. Really appreciate everyone taking the time. And as always, we don't have an official sign off yet for the channel, so we'll just say stay classy and stay safe, drink well, and stay healthy. Sláinte, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
This blend is so good.
Yeah, that was good stuff.